go back and look at your good content, like the ones that are performing in your analytics, and figure, okay, was it my hook? Was it the topic? Like try and see if there is a pattern between all of the well-performing videos and try and replicate that in all of your new content.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Coach Tribe podcast. Today we have with us Katie. She is a TikTok star with over 40K followers, almost 200K likes. She is a social media manager and a content creator, and we have so much to learn from her. Hello, Katie. It is a pleasure to have you with us today.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
We are so excited. Now, Katie, can you tell us why should our audience listen to us today? What will they have to gain out of this episode?
I kind of have dedicated my social media accounts to helping a couple different types of people, mainly service providers, but also people who are maybe new to TikTok and really struggling with trying to create what I like to call an engaged community. Maybe they're having difficulty speaking on camera because we all know how important that is. So I think we'll probably dive a little into that. I'm hoping.
I'm thinking, you know what? There are so many questions I could ask you, and I'm sure like we all, the listeners, we all have different things that we want to learn about. But I feel like we have to start from ground zero. And that is, let's imagine I am a coach and I am just getting started. And I know I have to market my services. I know I have to get clients, but how do I do that? How do I set up my social media? What are those first steps that I must be aware of? Like, what is the game plan? What do I know before I get overwhelmed by everything?
I'm kind of happy that you said that because a lot of people, I think, do get overwhelmed. And as soon as they get overwhelmed, they quit. But I don't want anyone to quit because social media is such a tool that we really need to all take advantage of. So we could dive into the basics first. First of all, you need to be consistent. You probably hear that all the time. In order to really grow on any social media platform, you have to be posting all of the time. But what I like to tell a lot of my clients and a lot of people, a lot of my audience is set realistic goals. Don't say that you're going to post 4 times a day, 7 days a week if you know that you are not able to keep up with that, because you will burn out and then you'll just probably drop the whole social media thing altogether. So set realistic goals. And then once you're able to hit those goals, maybe you can increase. So just know that being consistent is super important. But let's talk about TikTok in general, because I like to focus more on TikTok than any other social media platform. And just for this discussion, it'll probably keep things a little more organized. But let's start with your bio. If you're a service provider, a coach, anyone on TikTok, really, you really need to put your information, what you're offering your audience, in your bio. You can put things, personal things about yourself, but at the end of the day, your audience is selfish. And I hate to say that, but they need to know what they're going to be getting out of you. So put that in your bio. So if you are a health coach, make sure that you put that in your bio. Another great tool and trick that I think everyone is pretty much talking about on TikTok is how effective SEO or search engine optimization is. TikTok is a search engine just like YouTube is or just like Google is. And it started with the Gen Z generation, but pretty much everyone knows it now. And everyone is referring to TikTok to find solutions to their problems. Instead of going on Google and typing in, how do I X, Y, and Z, they're actually going on TikTok because it's a lot quicker. And I'm a visual learner. I like to watch video over, let's just say, reading an article. It's quicker, it's visual, and they're getting their answer maybe even in an entertaining way. So if you can utilize SEO in all of your content as well as in your bio, and we can dive deeper into like how to step by step do this, it's really going to help get your content seen. And that's super important, right? Like you can be the smartest coach in the world. You could be the number one coach in your field. But if your content isn't being seen by the right audience, then what's even the point?
The Coach Tribe podcast is powered by Pensight. I want to take this opportunity to tell you more about Pensight and how much value it can provide you and your coaching business.
Pensight is an all-in-one platform for coaches and educators that enables you to quickly and easily build a highly credible page and sell your knowledge with one-to-one sessions, group coaching, courses, Q&As, digital products, and bundles. Payments, scheduling, video calling, client communications, and everything else is taken care of.
All it takes is 5 minutes to set up and it's free. It's the smartest way to kickstart your coaching business. Sign up to Pensight today at pensight.com.
Makes sense. And I would love to come back to SEO, and we will come back in a bit. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, Katie, what is even the content that I should be creating in those first few weeks or months of me creating a social media presence? Should I be talking about myself, my offer? Should I be giving value to the audience? What are those content pillars or the type of content that I should be focusing on?
Let's just narrow it down to coaches. I'm going to say that a majority of coaches are going to have educational based content a majority of the time. And education is king on TikTok. So you will always want to make sure to be pumping out educational content. So educating your audience in your niche or what you can offer. So if you're, let's just say health coach, even if you can narrow it down even more, like maybe you help women with gut health, because I'm seeing a lot of that all over TikTok right now. Make sure that you are educating your audience. And then you also want to mix in a little bit of entertainment if you can. So that's where like the trends come in. I don't want to say oversaturate your profile with trends, because at the end of the day, as I said before, your audience isn't getting really anything out of that. They may get a laugh, but it's not giving them a reason to follow you along your journey of helping others, right? So the more free education that you're giving your audience, the more likely that they're going to become your community and follow you along on your journey. So education is king. Mix in the trends, because I do feel like it's almost like a fishing line to like reel people into your profile. So if they see a funny trend, they click on your profile to see what else you are providing them, and they see like a plethora of all of this free information, that's when they're going to hit the follow button. If you're going to do a trend, always make sure that you are catering it to your niche. So a lot of the CapCut templates, they're kind of slowing down now, but they were trending at one point. So that was like the easiest trend to jump on, where you can easily cater to your niche. So just make sure that it makes sense for your viewers. Besides that, you want to be very personalized. Like you want personalized content as well, because there are a million coaches out there, and there may be a ton of coaches in your field, but what sets you apart from every other coach? That's going to be your personality. That's going to be how you communicate, how you coach. So it's really important to get on camera and like talk to your audience. Talking head videos are very effective because they show your personality. They show how you communicate and how you coach. And that's super important for getting clients, because you can be very, very knowledgeable in the area, but maybe you don't communicate in a certain way that someone is going to really understand, if that makes sense. If I'm a person looking to hire a coach, I need to make sure that we are going to work well as a unit, and that I understand the way that they communicate and the way that they coach. And I feel that we would have like a good vibe, right? Like I'm not going to give you my money if I am not going to want to show up on a call with you every week. So you have to absolutely get on camera and show that to your audience. Yeah, I think that's a good basic rundown of what you should be posting.
It's very important that you mentioned this, that you have to show up. You have to put your face out there, because I'm seeing that it's no longer the case that your social media presence is a luxury, is a nice to have. It's pretty much a must to have in today's environment, and accounting for the creator economy and how everything grows. It's like, no, your social media presence is your identity card. That's where people go to see you, to find more about you. That's where, they're going to decide whether they want to follow you, they want to work with you. And I feel like this is why it's so important for all coaches out there to really understand that social media presence is a priority. And Katie, the question is, how do these people, who might be incredible coaches, be great at what they do, what they specialize in, but they might not have, any marketing knowledge or even business knowledge, to set things up and like create a marketing strategy or content plan? How should they go about this? Like, how do they know what step to take next?
That's actually kind of funny that you asked that, because I do work in social media, but I didn't go to school for marketing. I'm going to tell you a tip that you may not have necessarily thought of. But this is exactly how I have been able to start my business, scale my business, and grow my social media, is by using social media as my resource. So as I said before, TikTok is a search engine. Use it. So if you have questions as to how you should market your services or how to X, Y, and Z, start with using TikTok or YouTube and ask it, how should I be doing this? And it will give you the resources that you need. I say to my clients all the time, you just got to start showing up. And it's very nerve-wracking for some people. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it.
How do I create that blueprint of success? Should I maybe hire a coach if I don't have the possibility to hire a coach? Should I learn it by myself, like you just mentioned? Should I think of getting some freelancer to help me with content creation? Like, what are my options?
Okay, so let's break it down because I feel like everyone is going to be in a different boat here. If you have the time to create content yourself, then absolutely do it. But a lot of people don't have the time, so they may need a little help. Definitely, if you need to hire a coach of some sort, I absolutely recommend it because that's investing back into your own business. I think even coaches themselves need to hire some sort of a coach to help them, whether it's a business coach or maybe they need to hire a social media manager just to help them with either like the posting, because there's so many platforms to post across, right? It can get very confusing because different types of content work better on different platforms. So I think it really depends on the person.
And I feel like I would add that in the end, we have this idea that maybe if we get a coach or if we outsource and get the freelancer, they can only like help you understand better what you need to do. But in the end, it's you who has to show up because you're creating a personal brand. It's in the end all about you. You're in the center of it. So they will help you with strategy, with how to, get more views, more reach, convert better. But in the end, you do have to learn some of those skills as well because you're representing yourself. So I definitely encourage, if there is a possibility to get external help, get it. But don't forget that in the end, you have to own it. It's you're playing the long-term game that you have to do. And this is my stand at the moment. What do you think?
So 2 things. I'm just going to circle back to what I was saying because we were on like different wavelengths here. But I think a lot of people are afraid to ask for help because they're like, oh, if I'm asking for help, then I'm failing. But you're not going to get better unless you invest back into yourself and your business. So don't be afraid to ask for help, because even this is something that I struggle with a lot of my social media management clients, because I can create content for you to a certain degree, but I need you to show up because the people want to be working with you. They want to see you, right? So I can guide you. I can come up with video ideas for you. I can help you and I can edit for you and I can do the behind the scenes stuff, but I definitely need you as a client, as a person to show up more on your social media. And that's something I struggle with a lot, to try and get on your stories, like pick up your camera. Everything is content. You just need anything you're doing. But I have a lot of real estate clients for some reason. They all flock to me and it's just like, oh, you're going to an open house, record 15 seconds of it and say, I'm at an open house today, whatever. Like it's a glimpse into your life, and people want to see that because, as I have said before, it's showing why you're different than every other real estate agent out there or any other coach or whatever. It's your personality and it's how you show up. People resonate with that. People relate to you. That's why they end up following you, because they're relating to you in some way, or they really, really just like your personality. So you really need to show that as much as possible.
I know this is one of the hardest parts of starting your social media journey or content creation, is just like putting myself out there. Oh, I look so weird. Oh, my voice, my face, we find all of these things of why we should not do it or why something is not good, when that's actually what's staying, it's between us and our goals. Okay, now, before I go into the, tips and tricks of TikTok and content creation and SEO and all of that juicy stuff, I just wanted to say, because about the prior question on like, how do you learn, how do you find your way? And you mentioned just use social media to like find these answers. Like you can learn from these platforms. Completely agree. Gold out there. One thing that I would say though is and maybe, you don't agree with me, Katie, but I see many people who get lost in this idea of many different tips. For example, there's so many hashtag strategies. There's so many best time to post assumptions and theories around it. And there's so many different people showing you success in different ways. So you just get confused because in the end, what are you going to do? So I would say, take care you don't get lost in the research phase and you actually pick 2, 3, 4 creators that you aspire to become or be like, and go with what they say and do it, because otherwise you're going to be scrolling for months and still feel like you're not there yet. Is that a thing, Katie?
No, I 100% agree with you. I like that you said pick a couple creators and just follow what they say, but also do what I do. So at the beginning, I was super obsessed with like trying to figure out the best time to post and what type of hashtag strategy I should use. And I literally scratched all of that and I just post. Just post whenever you want. What I like to say is like put up those blinders. Like don't care about like what everyone else is doing. Just get your content out there, because it's your content and your personality that's going to create something magical. So don't, as you said before, I think that's a great tip, to just find a couple creators that you really aspire to be like and listen to their advice to a certain degree, but don't get caught up in all these like really specific strategies, because the thing is the algorithm is always going to be changing and TikTok is always going to be changing. So even if you do implement some sort of like specific strategy, it's probably going to change later down the road and you're just going to stress yourself out. Just post. That's all I'm going to say, is just post and don't care what everyone else is doing.
And I would add, don't try to reinvent the wheel and create everything from scratch. I feel like one of my best tips is also emulate success, like replicate something that already works from your audience. You don't have to create everything from scratch. And actually, I was talking with top creators, Travis Brown, Dan Thomas. They both have over 100K followers on Instagram. And, they were saying, that's one of their best strategies. You have to emulate success, hooks that already work, content that already performs. You might want to take that hook and create your content on top of it, because that's also like a test that it works. It's a sign that you're one step closer to reaching your goal. So I feel like that's one thing. Now, Katie, you are the star today, and I want to get as much as possible out of you. About SEO, you were saying, TikTok is very big on SEO. First of all, I would say, can you just tell us in what line what SEO is for those that don't know? And then maybe go into those tactics that you use to leverage SEO in TikTok.
SEO stands for search engine optimization, and it sounds really scary, but it's not. It's been around forever. Basically, it's what you want to do is you want to implement certain keywords and keyword phrases that have to do with your niche or even just the video topic into your content and in your bio. And what this does is it helps you rank higher in search results. So let's just use Google for an example, because search engine optimization really first started with that type of search engine. If you were to go type in something into Google and then all of the websites get listed below, the top ones, I'm not talking about the ads, because there's always ads at the top now, but the top websites listed, the search engine is grabbing keywords from the website, and that's why it's ranking near the top of your search result. So we want to do the same thing with our TikTok content. So if someone is searching for a solution to their problem on TikTok, like I said, that majority of people are doing, that your video or your profile is going to rank at the very top. Because if we're searching for something, we're not going to scroll down to like the 20th video. We're going to watch the first video, the second video, the third video, maybe the fourth video, right? So we want to make sure that your content is at the very, very top of the search results. And we do that through implementing certain keywords. So how do we find these keywords? You want to take let's say we have a video topic, gut health, because my mind is not working this morning. Let's just say you want to find keywords about that topic. Go to the search bar in TikTok and type in gut health. See what pops up. You're going to notice that a bunch of phrases are auto-populating as you're typing. Just like if you were to type into Google, it does the same thing. All of the phrases that are auto-populating are what people are searching for in that topic on TikTok. So write those down, because you want to make content around what people are searching for. And then once you have those phrases and those bolded keywords, because you'll notice that certain words will show up too, write those down, and then you want to incorporate them into your content. So how do you do that? There's so many different places you can incorporate it. First of all, definitely in your scripting. Now, I'm not saying you have to write a script and read from it, but usually you have a few bullet points. You know exactly what you want to say on camera. Whatever you are verbally saying out loud, you need to make sure that you are saying these keywords. Next, you want to put text on the screen for sure. And then also, I say this all the time, you put it in your bio as well. Like obviously not the video topic, but your niche. Because if people are looking for a gut health coach, put gut health coach in your bio, and then all of a sudden your profile will pop up in search results, because it's not just videos that you can search for on TikTok. You can search for users. You can even search for hashtags. Make sure you do that. And I like to put it in my nameplate as well. So when you're watching videos, the person's name will pop up at the bottom of the screen or the bottom of the video. It pulls from there, but also it's a nice little trick, because if someone's scrolling on the FYP and they come across a video that they really, really like, but they don't want to kind of like go away from their scrolling, they want to know if they should add you or not. Okay, if the video is about gut health and they see a video of yours on the FYP that's about gut health and your nameplate says Sarah Johnson, gut health coach, then they say, okay, I know that this person is creating more content around this topic. I'm going to add them right away and I'm going to go back to my scrolling. Instead of having to leave the FYP, go over to their profile, look through a few more videos to make sure that it's going to be worth it for them to follow. So you just have to remember to make everything as quick and easy and as seamless as possible for your audience. And that's a nice little trick that I like to give my clients, is to make sure that there's something in your nameplate that relates to your niche for SEO purposes, as well as for your audience to recognize what you do.
I love that, the tip with the name. And I know you have KT/TikTok profile audit. So is that tangible thing that people are going to get? And I know you said it in the beginning, in the end, followers are selfish. Like you have to make it easy for them, as easy as possible, to show them what they can get out. That's why it's important to talk about, results and benefits rather than features. But this is another topic. But again, make it as easy as possible for people to follow you, to click your link in bio, to buy from you. Now, again, as we were saying, there are many hacks, strategies, and people, get to success in different ways. I haven't tried it for myself yet, but I have heard other creators talking about it. So that might also be something that, you might want to try out.
So I do that, but I don't know if it helps, to be honest. Like I do it because I'm like, might as well. It's like no one can see it. You might as well do it. And I think that, TikTok may eventually pick up on that and then it won't work. And I don't know if it works, to be completely honest. But yeah, that's something that I have dabbled in as well.
You want to try to anything that could work. But at the end, my lesson is, after a while in the content creator space, is that, good content is what matters. Good content is what we should all be dreaming about. Because in the end, you can have all of these strategies, but if your content, is not either like high value, entertaining, or giving that instant gratification that people are after, you have to be creating good content in the end, whatever good content means in your niche. Now, I know Katie also mentioned trends. I'm sure some of us might not be familiar. Can you give us brief explanation of what trends are and how can we use them in our marketing strategy?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. The best way that I can explain it to people is, if you're scrolling through the FYP and you're noticing that either the same sound is being used a lot, or maybe as there's a CapCut template that is being used a lot, which is really popular right now, where you're seeing the same thing over and over again. Maybe it's like a lip syncing sound that everyone is using. That usually means that it's trending. The problem is like, you usually want to jump on these trends before they're super oversaturated. But like, how does one know that something is going to trend? There are a lot of creators out there that have dedicated their accounts to predicting what's going to trend. So, I mean, you can find those creators, you can follow them, give their advice a try. I have done that a couple times. There's a couple creators that I follow, and I'm sorry, I can't remember their names right now, but they have helped me jump on trends and they've usually worked, but sometimes they don't because it's a prediction. But you're usually pretty safe to follow a trend that is even super saturated, because if it relates to your niche, your audience is most likely going to find it entertaining or funny. So and it's super easy to do. They're usually no longer than 6-7 seconds. It consists of you either adding a video or a picture to a CapCut template or getting on camera and lip syncing to something. They don't take very long. So that's the best way I can describe a trend. Something that you're seeing or hearing over and over and over again on the FYP is usually trending.
Yeah, and I think you can use it in funny ways if that's, a personality you want to showcase. Also, I feel like, can you, Katie, use it with lists as well? Like have the sound, maybe have you lip syncing something and then maybe having items showing up as a list. Is that a trend, or would you call that something else?
Are you talking about when you have the videos where people are like pointing to text?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I wouldn't necessarily consider it a trend. I would consider it more of like a short form video, unless the song you're using is trending. And this is where it gets really confusing. If the song you're using is trending, then I would consider it a trend. But if it's not, and it's just like a song that has really good beat to it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do one of those pointing videos or with the text coming on the screen, I would just consider that like a short form video.
Gotcha. I do have a follow-up question, but we're getting into the details. What if it's a trend, but sometimes a trend comes with like a movement or like something specific. But what if it does have the trend sound, but not the trend movement? Now, this is really specific and detailed.
That's where it gets confusing. If the sound is trending, I would consider it a trend. Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha. So, by the way, dear listeners, don't worry. Even, it's more about creating, and it's really trends. The great thing about them is that they allow you to have fun. And I feel like integrating this bit of playfulness into content is another like great thing that I encourage creators to do, because Katie was saying it's all about, people relating to your content, and people want to see the real things, the real people. We all see the filter stuff, but realness is also what captures attention. Now, Katie, we're getting towards the end, and I wanted to ask you a very simple question.
It's going to be a difficult one.
How did you get to 40K plus followers on TikTok?
Oh, it's a difficult question to answer. SEO definitely helped me a lot. This is one trick I think that helped me get there, was giving away all of my advice for free. So gatekeeping, nothing. This kind of refers back to what we were saying about educational content and coaches and like showing up on camera. I was giving away, basically I have a bunch of services that I offer that people can purchase from me, but I was giving them all of the resources and all of the information for them to do it on their own if they wanted to. And that's, I think, what helped me create my audience, because it gained trust. And what happens is people will try to do it on their own, and sometimes they may succeed, and that's great. And then they'll relate or they'll refer me. But if they can't do it on their own, or maybe they don't have the time to do it on their own, then they're going to end up paying me for my services. So I'm giving them the tools and all of the information that they need in order to do it on their own if they want to. And if they can't, then they have me to fall back on. And I truly believe that you need to be giving your audience everything. And there was a phrase that I heard from another creator, and I can't remember who it was, but she said, why bake the loaf of bread when you can buy it? So there are a lot of people out there that know that they could probably do what I offer, but they don't have the time to do it. They might as well pay the person to do it. I think the fact that I was giving away all this free advice is what got all of my followers, and then a mix of SEO. But with that being said, we're talking about strategies here. We're talking about what people can do. I don't want anyone to overthink it, because I think that's when they get the content block, is when they overthink it. Just start posting. Your content is going to probably be really bad at the beginning, but that is normal. If you go on my TikTok and scroll back like a year, if you scroll back 6 months, it's so much worse than what it is now, because I get better at it every single time I do it. So as you said before, just start. You absolutely just need to start. And don't overthink anything, because there's some times where I'll have a video and I'm like, this is stupid, I'm not going to post it. And then I'm like, stop it, Katie, post it. And I'll post it and it'll get a ton of views. So you don't know what's going to take off. You don't know what other people are going to love. So just do it. You thought it was a good idea at one point, enough to create the video. So just post everything.
Mm-hmm. And I've also heard this tip of don't delete things, because you don't know when they will, blow up. And I know we had a video that was performing. I think it got like 2K views, and 2 months later it started blowing up. And we have now 75K views for a video that didn't perform when we posted, just because, we let it there, and then it caught up, and now it's growing. So you never know what works. And I have another video from like more than a year ago that had 200, 300 views that now is growing. It's not even like a good video, but it's growing. So you never know. Got it. And now in terms of growth, because that's what I'm curious about, where did the biggest part of your followers come from? Is it like maybe you got 10,000 followers from just one video, or like was it more distributed, or did it most of them came at once from some videos?
I had a couple videos that went viral. I don't even know what you would consider viral. Like, I don't have any videos that got into the millions, but definitely like hundreds of thousands that I made like almost a year ago that are still bringing in views and still bringing in comments and likes. So that definitely helped. Once you get one good video, go back and see what you did and try and replicate it. You kind of touched on this before. Go back and look at your good content, like the ones that are performing in your analytics, and figure, okay, was it my hook? Was it the topic? Like, try and see if there is a pattern between all of the well-performing videos, and try and replicate that in all of your new content. But I definitely think that as soon as I had a couple viral videos, that definitely helped with followers. But besides that, yeah, definitely just like over time and like spread out over all of my videos. Because as you were saying before, a video might not necessarily be doing well now, but if you scroll back and look like a few weeks back, or maybe like a month or two back, you'll probably notice that the videos way back there are starting to get a lot of views, but you're not paying attention to them because you're only kind of looking at your current videos, right? Don't delete. Your videos will usually pick up and do well over time. I mean, I always try to say your goal shouldn't be going viral. It should be helping people. But if you do help people and then go viral because of that, then it's a bonus. And I definitely received a decent amount of followers off of those viral videos, but as well as on the low performing videos as well. So
I am so happy that you gave this, let's say, real view of things. And I'm so happy that you mentioned that bit of look at what content performs best. And I think this is a great way to end the episode, because many times, we get into that machine vibe where we create, and maybe we already have the next week's content planned. But if something works from what you're doing, you should like stop for a minute and like really focus on that, because that's the best indication for you of something that works, and you want to stop everything that you're doing. And I would say, replicate that, because that's what success looks like. And you have to really like put your efforts on that, rather than, keep going with what you did in the past and didn't work. So I feel like that was so good that you mentioned. Now, Katie, can you tell us, where can people find you? Why they should follow you, reach out to you? How can you help them?
So you can find me on TikTok. I'm Content Queen. I was going to say the Content Queen, but content with a K, because my business name is Content Creations with a K, because my name is Katie. I thought that's very creative. And then on Instagram, you can find me at content_creation. Content with a K, obviously, again.
Mm-hmm. And Katie also has a Pensight profile, which we'll link below. So that's easy to find. And I suggest you all to go and follow Katie because she shares lots of valuable tips. So if you enjoyed this podcast episode, which I'm sure you did, you're still with us at the end, definitely give her a follow and learn more from her. And do get in touch if you feel like she can help you out. And why not start working with her because she has so much value to give. Now, I would say that's it from me. Katie, any last words from you?
No, just don't overthink it, guys. Post. And you know what? Like, I think I'm going to add one more thing, actually. This is something that I've kind of struggled with recently because I am like the post person. If you listen to your body, if you're tired, if you're not feeling it, it's okay to take a short break. You know what I mean? Like, your health is number one. And it's not like your creators are like, she hasn't posted today. Where is she? Right? If you go on a long break for like a month or two, people will notice and they'll probably be worried and they'll be excited when you come back. But no one is like on the clock, like watching, like, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? The only thing we say post consistently. And the reason why we're saying that is because you're more likely to take off. It's a numbers game, right? It's math. Like, the more you post, the more likely that you're going to take off. But your health comes first. So just don't overthink it. And if you don't feel like posting that day, it's okay.
Definitely. As long as you don't make it a habit not to post.
Habit.
And in the end, as content is energy, it's an exchange and people feel it. So you want to be good with yourself, I would say, so that people feel that,
Yeah, that's a very
So that was really good. And I'm so happy, we were ending it on this good note. I would say thank you, dear listeners. Thank you, Katie, for all the great tips. And I see you all for the next episode of the Coach Tribe podcast. Have a good day, everyone. Ciao. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
We'll be releasing every Wednesday, so make sure to
Subscribe
and rate us 5 stars where you're listening to this show to give others a chance to discover it too.